Before this video begins, I just want to put all of the patrons who've ever given me something this year, as well as shout out all of the $5 patrons I had this year. Thank you very much, Better Watch TV, Dr. Feho, Fedadaf, Frog on the Fritz, JCox98, and the music guy. I noticed you got a new name there. Thank you all so very much, and I will do more with the Patreon this year. Anyway, on to the video. Hello, hi, it's me. You remember me? I wear glasses now and I've grown facial hair. If you think this looks bad, believe me, I looked a lot worse earlier. I should probably shower. I had my lapel mic showing. Disgusting. Anyway, this video isn't really going to be super intricate. It's mainly just going to be like a podcast kind of thing where I'm talking at the camera and also playing a game. And what better game to just mindlessly play while talking than Uncharted 4. I love Uncharted 4, but it's not mechanically complicated, and on top of that, I've played it so many times that I can kind of just like sleepwalk through this game or focus more on what I'm actually saying than what I'm playing. And also it's just, you know, something to cut back to make it seem as though this video is more visually interesting than it actually is. I intend for this video to just be listened to by people while they're doing something else. This is, out of all of my videos, the most second screen video possible. Also, another reason why I wanted to do this is because I saw the Nakey Jakey video, and Nakey Jakey ended his video about Silksong / himself having an introspective chat while playing GTA 4, and that video affected me, and I want to do the same thing. I'm even shooting on a 24 frames per second camera. If you've played Uncharted 4, you'll be able to like generally see how much fluff I cut out based on like where I am in the game, which I think is a fun little thing. It's like a more interesting version of me just putting a clock in the background and letting people see like, oh yeah, I say things over and over again because my way of speaking is the equivalent of a train riding on tracks that are currently being built by the people at the front of the train. And then even then, when I find the right words, most of the time it's just words I've already said before and then I just cut it out. So I've been recording for like 10 minutes so far, and I've probably used like a minute's worth of actual footage here. To go back to discussing the elephant in the room, I guess, it was not my intention at all to have not uploaded for technically like 8 months, but really like a year, because, you know, the Better Call Saul video was like, you know, an April Fool's joke. And even then, the last video essay I made, the grandma got run over by a reindeer video, it was just me like making fun of the movie, which, you know, was fun. It was very much not like the Breaking Bad video, for example, that had like a ton of research put into it. I don't think anyone who doesn't upload frequently intends for massive gaps, but for me, every single month that went by, I was like, okay, but like I'm definitely gonna do one this month, right? And there are many reasons, and that's kind of what I want to talk about, because I also do want to talk about my year in general, because I think it's interesting. I think for a video like this, I think people would like to hear about it. I like listening to just people talk about video challenges and stuff. I will go back to regular videos after this though, hopefully, maybe, I don't know. And also, to be clear, throughout this last year, I haven't been not making anything. A lot of YouTubers, when they don't upload frequently, there's, I feel like, a subconscious belief that like, oh, they're not working on anything, when they usually are. It's just hard to tell unless they're constantly updating their audience. I have had a few of those on the Patreon. I filmed most of the next Q&A. I filmed a video about free movies on YouTube. I filmed a video about Minecraft box art. I filmed quite a few segments of a video about the new Scott the Woz Mysterious Game of Crypticism. So yeah, I filmed a lot of videos. I've also recorded the audio part for a lot of videos. I did record the audio for the Minecraft box art video, the Q&A video, most of the YouTube movies video. There's also like other stuff I've recorded. I've recorded quite a few videos that I intended to put on the second channel, because I have one of those and I don't do anything on it, but I was going to try doing stuff on it. Remember the 4-pillar survival April Fool's video from last year? So 2 years ago, I intended to do another one and I ran out of time to release it in time, but I recorded them anyway because I felt like it. And so I have like 2 parts worth of stuff filmed, I'm pretty sure, for that video, and they were like all day recordings and I just haven't edited those yet. I also recorded a second channel video where it's ReactBot reacting to my Jack to the Future video. That video is probably gonna be like 40 minutes or something somehow. I don't know. I also recorded another video recently looking at all of my YouTube AI suggestions, because YouTube has this thing where it's suggesting video ideas for you with AI and they fucking suck. And I thought it'd be fun to look at them and record my reactions to them, and it was fun, and I just have to edit that video now. I also did a few other things, like I made a theme song. It's just a little short thing, and I just haven't had a chance to use it yet because I haven't finished any videos. I also have quite a few scripts that I actually feel motivated to do. I've been writing the Suicide Mouse 2 video, and I've also been writing a second Zootopia video. I also have a few shorter videos. I have a video idea where I talk about, it's the title is like POV. You're a 2010s kid and you want to watch YouTube. Basically, I want to talk about the experience of growing up watching YouTube on my 3DS, but also growing up wanting to listen to YouTube videos while out and about. So what I did was I downloaded like YouTube videos from YouTube to MP3 and I put them on my phone. There's also another video idea I have just called Dumb ESRB Ratings, which, you know, everyone's made their own ESRB video, and I think it's just time for mine, mainly because I just have a lot of like brain goop I want to let out. And the thing with those 2 videos is I have no clue how long they actually will be. There's shorter videos I want to make that I also frequently doubt, and I'm like, oh, is this substanceful enough? And that doubt prevents me from actually following through. It overwhelms me and makes me not want to work on that video right now, because I then worry like, oh, is it like too unsubstanceful of a video to return with? I don't want to be gone for like a year and then come back with just like a 15-minute video about 3DS stuff. There's also videos that are like in the middle where it's just like, oh god, I want to do this, but it's just so much effort. There's a video I want to do about does South Park have crappy animation? That's kind of like the premise of the video. And then as I was working on it, I was like, oh, I want to make this kind of like a bigger video. You know, like that H-Bomber guy trope where he makes a video about one thing and then it turns into another. It's kind of like, oh, I wanted to do a video about South Park's animation, and then it turns into me talking about adult animation in general and how adult animation does not look bad, but also it does. South Park does look bad, but also it doesn't. And I also talk about like the 12 principles of animation or whatever. And then I'm just like, oh god, this is like a gigantic video, and one that I would love to do, but also like, how the fuck am I gonna do this? But yeah, anyway, I have been like working on video stuff. I just haven't even gotten it to a state where a lot of it is showcaseable, because a lot of it is just, oh, footage. Oh, raw audio recordings. I would have to like edit parts of those to even have it as like a sneak peek to give, and I've just been struggling to find the time to actually edit. Anyway, so I said I was busy a lot this year, and I want to talk about that because, like, again, I as I said, I think it's interesting, but also I think I do want to explain why things have just gotten so infrequent. Let's start with coming off of 2024. 2024, 2022, 2023, and 2024, I was various different levels of depression. 2023 was better than 2022 and 2024, but I wasn't like doing the best like consistently in all of those years. Nothing was bringing me joy. and I was feeling tired and I didn't want to do anything. Looking back in hindsight, it's easy for me to say like, oh yeah, I just had undiagnosed ADHD. That was a big factor, but also there was just a lot of other stuff that was really affecting me that I was just able to get over, or I am currently trying to handle, or it's just like extenuating circumstances. I think that's the right word. Basically like other things in my life that I just can't control. So yeah, near the end of 2024 and the beginning of 2025, I was probably the worst I've ever been mentally. I didn't enjoy life at all, like whatsoever. I wasn't enjoying anything. I was struggling to do the things I like had previously enjoyed. And on top of that, like, you know, the world is fucking terrible right now. And that has definitely not changed since 2024. The world is just like awful. But also like near the end of 2024 and entering into 2025, that was when Trump got elected a second time. Everyone was like just freaking out about that, reasonably, to be clear. Like, oh, he's talking about like annexing fucking Canada. Great. Oh, everything's gonna get more expensive because he's tariffing everything. Great. I stopped following a lot of it, but it's hard for me to, you know, tune that kind of thing out when people around you aren't and are constantly on peak the world is fucked kind of thing near the beginning of 2022 or 2025, which did nothing for my mental health. And generally it was just like I was trying to get help. It was not like I was just like wallowing and not doing anything. I was trying to help myself, but it's really hard to get mental health help, which sucks. But it is true. It's fucking awful how hard it is to get mental health help. Most of 2024, like literally half the year, I was waiting for a referral from my general doctor to just like talk to someone to do an ADHD screening because we had a reasonable assumption that I might have ADHD. If I didn't, that would at least help. There would be like a screening that would at least help me figure out like next steps. Like if I didn't have ADHD, okay, maybe I have a different thing. What if I have OCD? Maybe I can actually just get my depression diagnosed or something and actually get proper help. I feel confident in saying I was depressed because if you want to die regularly, you're obviously not depressed. But also you can't just say to a pharmacist, hey, I am depressed, give me Prozac or something. Like you need like a diagnosis to like really get help. And I had waited for fucking ever for a referral to an ADHD person. So I eventually actually just paid to have an ADHD screening. It's not like I'm paying to be told I have ADHD because they could also just very easily have just said like, no, you don't have it. You did all of our quizzes and it's not that. But they could have also told me what else I had and pointed me to that direction. So in March, I was actually finally like diagnosed with ADHD and could be like properly treated for it. And that in itself was a massive mood booster. Just finally finding out, okay, all of like this stuff that I've been feeling horrible about, I'm bed rotting all the time and I'm not motivated. I feel fucking lazy and impulsive. You know, there is like a actual chemical reason in my brain as to why I've been feeling that way, and there's treatment for it, which is great. It wasn't instantly fixed. I instantly got like a improved mood because that was a finally like a step in the right direction. Like holy shit, I actually know something about myself that I can like work on and fix, and that people can. There's a tangible thing with me that I can get help with, because before it's just like, oh, I'm feeling like shit. Basically, it was a step in the right direction. It was like an actual like, it was progress, and just actual tangible progress really helped. Like I was saying, it wasn't instantly fixed after that moment. What I then had to do was actually figure out treatment. Anyway, I'm gonna come back to this in a bit, but I'm realizing I kind of am getting ahead of myself, and I do kind of want to go as much in linear order as possible. I got glasses now, and I started growing facial hair. That was a thing in January. So as soon as January started, I had an eye exam and realized I needed glasses. Well, not necessarily needed glasses, but it was highly beneficial if I got them. I sit in the back of my film class, and it's kind of hard to see what's on the whiteboard or on the television in the front. When I took the eye test, I didn't realize like how much I needed glasses until they did the 1, 2, 1, 2 thing. And I was like, oh, definitely that one. That was a genuine highlight of the beginning of the year when I was like super depressed, was like, oh, I can see clearly though, at least. That's fun. I also wanted to experiment with growing facial hair, which was this. I basically was like, all right, I'm not going to shave my chin for a year because my chin is like the only place where facial hair grows in kind of how it should. This doesn't really grow in here. Like, it looks shitty, at least to me. All my friends like it, but I hate it because it's not a full beard. It ends here. And not a lot of it goes outward. A lot of it is under. That does wonders in making me feel like a neck beard because it is essentially a lot of neck beard. With my chin, a lot more of it kind of like shows this way. So it's just like, you know what, I'll fucking try doing just a chin. And I did try doing just a chin for a little while. It took a little bit for it to grow and be noticeable. Summer hit and I just didn't shave, and then I grew the full beard. And then when I shaved off the mustache and just had this again, it was like weird. So I also grew in the mustache recently. So, same with my hair. I wanted to get my hair grown back out again. And my takeaway is that I'm shaving this off because I think I'm done with it, and if I regret my decision, I can just grow it back. The hair I've been letting grow out for like a year at this point because I wanted to have long hair again, and I realized my hair is too thin and soft and gets too greasy quickly to have long hair. I've been drawing a lot. Ever since 2022, really, I've been like trying to draw more. It's my second main hobby now, and for a while I liked it more than videos because it's faster to finish a drawing than it is to finish a video. Sometimes it's also faster to finish a drawing than it is to finish specific aspects of a video, like a script. The issue I have with drawing, and it's a very like kind of egotistical one, is I'm not as confident in my drawing abilities as I am in my video abilities. Anything I want to accomplish with a video, technically, I feel like I'm capable of doing. If I want to edit something in a certain way, I have the capabilities of doing it in the way I intended. As for whether or not the way I intend it is good, I don't know. But I at least feel as though I can take the video I have in my brain and actually create it in a way that's like, oh yeah, that's my brain movie. Drawing is not like that yet. I've definitely improved my drawing since I started doing it in 2022, but still right now, I'm not at a point where I can take what I have in my head and create it, release it, and not feel as though it's just kind of like held back by my capabilities. I feel like I'm getting better with like anatomy, but in terms of giving the characters more than a 3/4 angle, absolutely not. No way, I'm not good at that yet. I also only draw like the same characters over and over again. I'm not very visually, artistically diverse. Drawing was another thing that also slowed down in 2025. I'm trying to balance wanting to draw with wanting to make videos and also having a life, and also wanting to not actively do something to relax as well. There's forms of relaxing and taking time off that don't require you doing something. I watched a lot of the 2024 movies in 2025 when they were still in theaters. That's the thing that I'm happy with myself for, is watching more movies. But also, because I don't have a car, it takes a while. It's like a whole event. Like, I can't just drive to the movie theater. I have to bus to the movie theater. And none of it's expensive because I have like a subscription to my theater and I get a free ticket and cheaper tickets. I see enough movies for it to save me money, but it's expensive in terms of time commitment because I spend a while on the bus getting to the theater, and then I watch the movie, and then I spend a while on the bus coming home. I've learned to fucking hate the buses in my city. And on top of this, I was also just doing school. The main focus of not only last year, but also definitely this year has been school. I'm in film school. It's a lot of work, but it's also fun. This is the stuff I know, you know? Like a lot of YouTubers are like, oh, I'm gonna go into film. I'm going into film as a crew member, really. I would like to write and direct a thing, I guess, probably. But I wouldn't necessarily say that it's my main goal to like just create TV shows and create movies. I want to create one that can't just be accomplished with a regular YouTube video. And even then, like what I want to make can be accomplished with a comic. I want everything creative I do to be entirely independent and just by me. However, I know how to set up a camera. I know how cameras work. I know how to hold a microphone. I know how to boom operate. I know how to light. So I feel as though I can work in the film industry, and that's something I've been very anxious about. It's just like, oh, I need to live, but also I need to live in a world that's fucking expensive as shit while also not wanting to die from my job. Doing film stuff, I understand and I am capable of. Anyway, yeah, I've been at school for film and it is very time consuming. Like, yes, the classes are from like 8:30 to 3:30 most of the time, but also with just the nature of film and things taking a while, I stay behind a lot. We need to like build a set, or we need to do this and that. I need to work on work that I didn't do in class, and so it just takes a lot of time. And on top of that, I don't want to be like a unsocial person. I have friends that I want to hang out with. And so sometimes if I'm not at school, I will hang out with friends because that is important to me. My hands are full with a lot of stuff. Near the end of the school year, I was also experimenting with medication. Finally getting back to that, actually. It took a while for me to actually find medication that worked. Don't take anything I say as like stuff that you should try. So this is just my experience and me wanting to talk about this, and don't emulate me unless it's like recommended by whoever is in charge of your medication dispensary, your psychiatrist or doctor or whatever. I started out with like 20 milligrams and took that for like a couple weeks and it didn't really work. Then 30 milligrams and it worked a little bit. I could tell something was up. And then 40 and then 50. And with 50, I did notice, oh, okay, this is something. But it took like months for me to get to this point. I had finished school by the time I was like, all right, let's try 50s. And school, by the way, really, the end of school really burned me out. Because we did a little like intensive period of time where we made like 3 short films within the span of a month. And that was like really tiring and like, so I went into summer break, which started at the end of May, very exhausted. And on top of that, there was someone in my life who was horrible. It was a relationship, not of mine, but of a parent who was horrible and toxic and emotionally abusive. Regardless of whether or not they thought they were not good for my mother or for any of us. Everyone else in the family. Their relationship was very toxic and weird and conspiratorial. He was very much a conspiracy theorist type person. I just saw like my mother getting like, I just saw like the family was just like, it was getting bad. So I had to kick him out of our lives, which was very hard and taxing, and it fucked me up dealing with that. I was like, okay, how do I do this? How do I figure out where you go? All this stuff. It's very hard to help someone who's actively refusing help. It was a whole ordeal, and it fucked me up. I was already burned out from school, and that was just like, oh my God, that was the worst, most stressful experience I've ever had. Luckily, I didn't do the wrong thing. Everyone, including my mom, was like, thank you. But at the time, it was just like, holy shit. What did I just do? Oh my God, that was stressful. And that gave me horrible anxiety, horrible brain. I was burned out from life at that point. At this time as well, I was a higher dosage of the medication, which one of the side effects of the medication is anxiety. And I think for me in particular, it doesn't create anxiety, the medication, but I think any anxiety I just feel from external circumstances is just heightened. In May, I couldn't really do much. I was still experimenting with my medication, but I was burned out from creating anything. I was burned out from like doing anything. I was having anxiety attacks or panic attacks. I feel like they might be different things, but I was having like some sort of attacks. I couldn't do it. Like there'd be points where I'm like, Jesus Christ, I just shut down and would just be like, I'd have to try to ride it out. And the only thing I really did in May to recover and was I noticed some video games on my shelf were just loose cartridges and didn't have boxes or anything, didn't have packaging, and I wanted to make boxes for them. So I spent the beginning of my summer break after removing a toxic individual making small game boxes. And genuinely, like, it was very, like, good for me, I think. It was nice. I love folding paper. I watched a few videos about people making their own custom, like, game boxes for cartridge games. I went into GIMP, properly scaled box scans from the cover project. There was a little bit of trial and error, but I eventually got it, and I basically just kind of printed, I made a few sheets, and then I printed them on like cardstock at Staples. There is a Staples near me, like a 3-minute drive, and it's like a 20-minute walk. Because, you know, walking distance is like, yeah, walking distance, but also everything is fucking built around cars, which I don't have. But you wanna know what I do have? A bike. On top of going to Staples to print off these little construction paper projects, I also just kind of started biking more, which I hadn't really done since I was younger, really. But I biked a lot during the summer, to the point where I got comfortable biking in the middle of the road, as you're supposed to do. You're not, as far as I'm aware, you're not supposed to bike on the sidewalk. You're supposed to bike in the road, not in the middle of the road. That was an exaggeration. I was biking on the side of the road, but I was also like biking in the road. I also think I lost a lot of weight doing that. I've lost like 40 pounds since like I started film school. And when I did that organizing on my game shelf of, oh, I made these little game boxes, I should probably, now that I have the time, reorganize the rest of all of my stuff. I then spent June completely deep cleaning, going through all of my stuff, threw away stuff that I didn't need, condensed things. It got worse before it got better. It was a gigantic mess for like 3 weeks because I was just going bit by bit. And this was also on top of me just like, you know, wanting to do other stuff like hang out with friends. I streamlined so much of my space. My room, I think, looks far better, and less cluttered, but it was also like exhausting too, having to go through all of that. I also got new furniture, so like I bought a new bed frame that wasn't as space inefficient. I bought a new desk that I enjoyed more and was more space efficient. So I think another reason why that was good for me is because like I was depressed and was rotting in that room for a while, and I needed to give it a fresh look. I needed to not make it look like a rot. July was me taking a break from that, so I hung out with friends more. The main thing I did was binge watch a show I wanted to binge watch because, you know, I wouldn't have a lot of time to do that when I'm back at year 2 of film school. So I binge watched the first 3 seasons of House. I really like House, or at least the first 3 seasons. I've watched up until like halfway through season 4. I haven't watched a lot since. It wasn't all House. Near the end of July, I had actually figured out the proper dosage of medication to take, and also the proper kind of medication to take, because I don't know why brand name medication works better for me. I hate that. I hate how no name doesn't work for me. After like taking a break and stuff, recovering from the burnout from both the family events and also school, I was still feeling kind of weird about how like not motivated I was and stuff. Cleaning my room probably took longer than it needed to, because like it was like a big project and it was my focus, but I would also frequently lose focus. The reason it probably took a month is because it took longer than it needed to, because while I was testing medications and it was probably working to a degree, it wasn't optimally working. I've also heard so many experiences from other people with ADHD, and they say like, oh, you should feel this way. And it's like, I'm kind of feeling that way. I can feel a spark. And then I tried brand name and I was like, fucking god damn it. Because it did work way better. I hate how it works better because it makes me feel like a dickhead. Because it's like, oh, I only want the brand name stuff. Even though it's like, yeah, like that's stuff that like from my experience works better for me. But you know, oh yeah, I only need brand name. Just, I feel like saying that makes me feel like just a twat. But also I hate it because it's more expensive. But I'm glad I figured that out, because it was very hilarious, how like, it really, like, it is just, people with ADHD who have actually found the treatment that works for them. You know what I'm talking about, okay? You know what I'm talking about when you're just like, oh fuck, this is how like regular people feel? All right, damn. I guess I really am disabled. After I found the medication that worked for me, I started learning DaVinci Resolve. I had learned a little bit of DaVinci Resolve. I had cut a short film in it, but it was very cut and cut. Editing a YouTube video involves a lot more like kind of popping visuals, at least for me. A lot of like more fun things that I had learned how to do on my original editing software, which was HitFilm Express, which I did not update since 2021 because HitFilm was bought out and then died. So I needed a new editing software. Or Windows 10 is dying soon too. I'm gonna have to get a new computer at some point. I need to learn how to edit with a updating and also more industry standard software if I actually end up editing as a job or something. So I chose DaVinci because DaVinci is free, and fuck Adobe. It was very, very difficult. When I, like I said, I learned how to like basic cut keyframes and like the way I like editing videos where I'm like moving things across the screen. It's fast and bouncy. Nightmare. Fucking nightmare. I tried like doing it like a couple times like in school, and it's like, oh no, oh no, oh no, 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 oh shit. But when I got medicated, I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna fucking learn how to edit on DaVinci. And I did. I edit on DaVinci now. Definitively. I despised it when I was learning. And I still despise DaVinci's keyframes, at least in comparison to HitFilm's. DaVinci also has a lot of things that I love so much. I love the color correcting. I also love how you can create your own transitions. That's gonna save a lot of time on editing, because instead of having to just put in keyframes of something popping in over and over, I can just drag and drop this thing I made that I can control. So now my videos will look better and take less time to edit. It took a really long time for me to learn it though. I'm lucky that I had the summer to do that. If I wasn't medicated, I probably would have given up, because I was raging. I was angry. I was so angry when I was learning DaVinci, because I'm like, why the fuck isn't this way? Why can't I move? And I still have annoyances with DaVinci. I hate how I can't move any of the panels around. I still hate its stupid keyframes. I also hate how so many useful things are behind the paywall, and I mean that is a little more reasonable because a lot of the useful stuff is not behind a paywall, but also sometimes there'll just be a thing that's just like, oh, I have to pay for that? Damn it. Yeah, that's a lot. That was a lot of August. and I tested it by editing together a little video segment I filmed in July. A segment of the Mysterious Game of Crypticism sequel video with my friends. As in, it's just me on camera, but they helped out, and it was really fun, and I want to get more of their help, mainly just because it just adds to the vibes. Like, I don't need their help. I can set up the camera on my own, and I can set up the audio on my own. But having people in the room with me to, like, number one, operate the camera, and number two, just like there, it takes away some time, but it also adds to the vibes. I want to do more videos with friends, and I've been helping my friends with videos. That was another thing I did in the summer, is I helped film videos for my friend. He's the one in the student film I made that was not in film class. That was in a different college course that I took before to build my portfolio. Another thing that I did in August, a thing to like break up the learning Da Vinci, but I was also inspired to do artistic stuff as well. I wanted to practice animating, and I did that while also learning Da Vinci. I'm not gonna show it off because I can't show it off because it's fucking horny as shit. August was like my most productive month, I feel, in terms of like creativity. I had recovered from my burnout, and I had become medicated right. And I just, in general, feeling great. Looking back at August, as I'm saying this, creatively, I feel like I accomplished things as well. If I was like the same capacity as I was in August as I for every other month, I would not feel bad, basically. I didn't do everything I wanted to do in summer. I wanted to learn to drive. I paid for the lessons. I haven't done them yet. It's an online course, and I have like a year since I bought them to do them. I think I'm going to do them as soon as I'm finished with this video. I also did things I didn't even intend to do. I changed all my passwords and became more secure. That was great. It was bonkers how great I felt in August, how productive I felt in August, how recharged. Oh, it was so good. And I had planned to record some videos, and then school was on the horizon, and I was like, oh no, I had focused too hard on too many things. I had luckily learned Da Vinci. I had finished the little animation I did. Also hung out with my grandmother because she was visiting during this time in the summer, getting my mustache out of my face. I also saw some movies. It was cool. Quite a few things happened in summer, but basically when school like about to begin, like the final week of summer vacation, I was like, all right, I should record some videos. So I recorded my Q&A in August and edited it while I was taking a road trip with my friend to help him with his video projects. And then like the day before school started, I recorded the two other videos, the YouTube movies video and Minecraft box art video. And the reason why I recorded those back to back is because I had planned this whole thing with my facial hair, because I kind of just let that grow out. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna do a funny bit with my facial hair. No clue if I'm actually going to continue doing it. I'm not sure if I'm going to re-record the Minecraft box art video. I'm not sure if I'm going to finish the YouTube movies video. But also, I didn't want that facial hair before school started. So the night before school started, that was when I finished recording my Minecraft video. And that was probably a bad idea because I think I incurred sleep debt. Oh god, it's like 3 a.m. I have to wake up for like 7. Yeah, I was kind of tired for the first few days of school, but the first few days of school were also fine. We were busy, and we didn't really stop being busy. Oh no, the second year of my film school started. Yay, and I felt fairly recharged. Like, I was kind of tired because I did that thing. And also a lot of the first few days were a lot of work, but I was happier. Summer was very healing. It was very productive near the end, but also like throughout, but like mainly near the end. And so I went into the school year feeling motivated and feeling great and feeling happy. It was busy, especially because there was a lot of other things. There was a film festival that I had to go to because I had an assignment based off of watching many of the movies, but also I wanted to get my money's worth because it was a required expense. That was time consuming, but you know, it was fun. And it was fun being background to everyone. It was fun doing the little projects we were doing. And after like the first week or two of assignments, which were like pretty intensive, there's a period of time that I was then just planning. And there's a couple weeks there where I was just like, all right, I can do school and I can also do like video planning at the same time, I think. And then something great happened, but also bad. I was chosen to direct a short. Okay, so basically there's an assignment where we all had to write a 5 to 7 minute short film. That thing I said earlier where I said, oh, I have like one thing I would make. I took that idea, and to fit all of the specs and to fit a short film, it became very different, and it just kept becoming different. So it's kind of its own thing. It's a romance. It's not funny. It's not like not a romantic comedy. It's just a romance. If it's funny, then that's just my style of writing, I suppose. And it was a great opportunity because like it wasn't like we all write and direct something. We all write something and then we voted on the things that would be made, and then the writers of that directed if they so chose. So there's only 3 short films that were like put into production, really. I'm saying short films. They're student films, really, but also, you know, I had a crew, I had to tell what to do. I wasn't allowed to shoot any of it myself or edit any of it myself. I was just writer and director. And it was like the first time I had really done that. I was very attached to the opportunity. Like I wanted to use the opportunity, and I was very attached to the idea I did. It was also the first time I directed anything really on that scale, at least. And I think I did more than what I was technically supposed to. And I struggle to communicate my ideas in a way that is either concise, or I struggle to remove my walls and not feel deeply embarrassed by anything I do. Me even like submitting a romantic script was in itself like a huge thing for me. On one hand, it's great to know that people enjoyed it. On the other hand, and I know this sounds very like shitty and privileged, I guess, but on the other hand, I had to actually do it. It was exhausting, and also I understand even more now why so many like directors and stuff like hate their own work, director, writers, whatever. Oh my God, for a while I was like, oh my God, I did the worst job in history. This sucks. I am a horrible writer and I didn't do anything well. And I still believe a lot of that, but also I'm less hard on myself. Like I'm more healthy about it now. That like working on that was like a month long, like of straight like exhaustion, pretty much. Like that burned me out, like just straight up. Like that was so tiring. And I just didn't really get a break after that because I had beforehand already made like a whole bunch of other promises. I promised to like also film stuff for like my friends and stuff when I had a free weekend or whatever. I had also during September bought like a new PC, like desktop. Oh God, I have to transfer all of my crap over from my old computer to my new one. And it's all a mess and I need to organize that as well. After like wrapping the shoot of the short film, I still had to oversee the edit of it and also go to school and keep doing school assignments. And it's just like, I haven't had a break. And like the few little couple days off, that's all it is really. It's just a couple days and I can't really do any work because I'm so tired. Yes, my medication works, but it can't recover burnout. When my brain is like depleted, the stimulants don't recharge, you know? The stimulants aren't a battery. The stimulants help me use the battery life that I charge. When I'm out of charge, there's not much they can do. I felt like I was running off of like 10 to 15% battery for like after October. Into November and even a little bit of December. I had horrible sleep. Like it would take me forever to actually get to sleep. And then when I woke up, I wasn't on it anymore. I was very good at being able to like get up at like 6:30, shower, catch the bus, be at school on time. It was rare when I missed a bus, you know? And it became the norm. I wasn't showering every day. I would skip a day. I wasn't waking up in time. I was getting Ubers all the time. I was tired. I felt like shit too because like it wasn't like I was like satisfied with my film because, you know, it wasn't edited yet. I already knew kind of all of the things I could have done better, and I wasn't approaching it in the best way because I was approaching it in a sad way and like an, oh, I'm a fuck up way. Oh, that was a time. It was a time. It was a fucking time. I don't regret having directed the short film, but I needed time to recoup, and I just didn't get that for a little while. I didn't get that until recently. I didn't get that until like September. No, December. That's what I meant. December. Finally, when school like was over and stuff, I was like, okay, I finally get a break. And even then, I spent a lot of that working. So the thing is with me is that like I am a full-time student. A lot of the expenses I have, I usually just pay with it with my student loan. But near the end of the year, I got like some seasonal work from like an old job. They were like, hey, you want to come back for like a little bit? And yeah, sure. And then immediately afterwards, I got worried that, oh no, I won't get a break. All right, for money, I guess I can buy some better Christmas gifts and more Christmas gifts for people, and also get a couple things for myself, I guess. But also, I'm super burned out. What am I thinking? It actually was fine. It didn't drain me as much as like school did, mainly because the work I was doing wasn't mentally taxing, really. It started off that way. It was a customer service job. I was working on top of being at school for a little bit, but I had more hours during winter break because then I didn't have school to worry about at all. And 3 hours of like asking customers if they need help with anything, that is miserable, let alone 5 hours or 8 hours of doing that. But then they figured out I really like stocking shelves and organizing bulk, so then they just kind of put me on that for winter break. Good. That chewed away at all of the shift time. It was kind of like the boxes, like folding the little boxes I did earlier this year. And I need to drink, oh my god. It's hard for me, I feel like it's hard for me to recharge without also doing something, which is kind of like an oxymoron, but like when I'm trying to recharge and like take a break and stuff, I still feel like I can be doing more, you know? Like I'm still like, oh man, I feel like I'm wasting time. Like if I'm just recharging by like playing video games or whatever, like I worry so hard about that being a waste of time that I don't end up doing it and I kind of just watch YouTube. But also like, you know, doing that is good for you because it's good to take a break sometimes, you know? Don't obsessively like play video games if you don't have the time to do that. But if you do, then like, fuck it, you know? But it's very hard for me to actually feel that way. It's hard for to convince my brain to like be like, no, you are like recharging if you're playing a video game because you just worked a month straight on something. But it's just hard to, you know? And ironically, because I worry often that I'm not doing enough when I'm recharging, that worry drains me, and it ironically doesn't end up helping me at all. And that was a big issue with me in like previous years. Anyway, so coming back to what I was talking about, in summer this year, I was able to recharge because like I did keep myself busy, but I kept myself busy with things that I did find relaxing. The first thing I did to recover from how exhausted I was fold cardboard. I didn't need to, but like it was productive. I made boxes for loose games. I know I'm repeating stuff, but like I'm kind of trying to get back to where I was to establish December. Going to work and being put on organizing and stuff, I feel like that did a very similar thing that I feel like the boxes did, like making the little game boxes. And not only did it help me recharge, it made me feel productive because I was working and making money off of it, you know? It wasn't a lot of money because, you know, fucking minimum wage, but still. And that's not to say that, you know, it was a great job. I feel like if I kept going, it would be like, oh no, like I'm really getting sick of this. But basically what I'm saying is that the seasonal work I did that I worried would burn me out more ended up not. And as I was catching up on sleep and allowing myself to do that and not, you know, being hard on myself for catching up on sleep, I was feeling better. I'm finally feeling better, which is great. And also during that time I was drawing more. I'm feeling inspired to actually learn some basics. I need to kind of study anatomy more, a lot actually. But you know, I'm feeling motivated to do that. And it's great. And I feel like this year, and talking about it as well, has really made me like helped me to figure out like how my brain works a bit better and better understand like how I handle situations and stuff. So yeah, and on top of that, and I'm saying the 2 weeks of winter vacation I've had so far, they didn't feel like they like flew by, because I was filling them with stuff. You know, like after work when I came home, I would do things. I would write, or I would record a video. That's when I record the AI video, or I would draw, or I just let myself relax as well. And I feel like I accomplished more stuff in the latter half of December than I did at this beginning half of December. And the best part for me, I still have like another week. I'm done with the job. Christmas is over, and my seasonal position is done, and I still have a week of just like my own time. Now that I'm finally reaching like December in this like recounting, I was going through this year thinking like, oh man, this was a bad year. And in many ways it fucking was. But now that I've like talked about it and really gone over like a lot of what I've experienced and gone through and all my everything that happened, I'm doing a puzzle. Let me finish this puzzle and then I'm gonna talk. Hello. Yeah, so I did a little bit more than just the puzzle. Distractions happened. It is kind of interesting how far into the game I've gotten, because I honestly haven't been like paying that much attention at all to the game. I'm recording. I have no clue how much of that recorded, and that's related. I finished the puzzle, and then as I was finishing the puzzle, I noticed that the camera was low on battery. I was like, all right, I'm gonna go change the battery on this and then get back to it. And then I noticed that this thing, my Zoom F1, just randomly stopped recording. At some point, I don't know, it was just not recording anything. I knew it had been recording at least an hour because at a certain point when I looked down, I saw it was recording like an hour so far. So I knew like, all right, I have at least like an hour's worth of audio, I guess. I don't know when it stopped, but I can check to see, I guess, by playing it back and seeing how long the time on the file is, and it said file not supported, and I was like, what? And then I realized, oh shit, did it corrupt? When I put the file onto the computer, like the file was there and it was big, it was a gigabyte, but when I tried playing on the computer, like it didn't play, and I was like, oh, it's here and there's data, but nothing's playing. I looked at the details. The detail said 0 seconds. I tried putting it in DaVinci, like it was in there, but like it was just a 1 second bit of audio that was also silent. And then I tried putting it in Audacity, and it was just nothing. I tried importing it into Audacity as just raw data, and like that didn't work. And when I was like looking stuff up, I was like, all right, I guess I'll try data recovery. And in the early stages of figuring out how to do that, one more easy thing I tried that I just read somewhere was stick it in VLC. Okay, sure, I'll try it. I know VLC can play a lot of, it's like an all-in-one thing. It can play like a whole variety of like files and stuff. So I was like, I'll try. And it loaded. I don't know how or like why, but it loaded and it all worked. So I saved it. And then I used VLC to re-export it to a copy of itself, and so now I have the audio of the first half. And I also know how to potentially fix corrupted files or something. Anyway, so yeah, and then after I figured that out, I was like, all right, I'm gonna back up everything on the camera now. I'm just gonna get everything onto the computer. I said it would take 20 minutes. So I was like, all right, I'll go run an errand, and the errand took me like an hour, but now I'm back. What fun. This thing keeps fucking stopping. What do you mean card full? You have 12 hours on it. It says 12 hours, and it's telling me that it's full. All right, I formatted the card. I should probably just continue on before I forget. In the moment, and by in the moment I mean while living through it, there was a lot about 2025 that was just like really sucky. The world ain't doing good, especially with the rise of AI and people in power who are just like absolutely insane during the actual year living it. It didn't feel great. That even after I was like not really like the most depressed I had ever been, there's still a lot of stress and there's still a lot of recovery from various things that were just happening during the year. And I didn't feel overall super productive in terms of like my own personal creative endeavors that I enjoy doing. But looking back at it all, talking through it all and taking stock, I think that's the term. It wasn't a good year necessarily, but I also think it was a good year in terms of improvement, I guess, for me personally. It's a weird thing because like I wouldn't call it good, but I would call it good for me, I guess. Yeah, I'm glad that I got diagnosed with ADHD. In a way, I'm glad that I had a lot of like stressful times and had a lot of moments of burnout because I was able to like properly figure out how I react to them, how my brain acts when I've just completely run out of steam and I'm going off of fumes and stuff. I haven't like finished a lot of stuff, but I have worked on quite a few things. I also think my art has improved. I'm not as closed off with a lot of my friends anymore. I've realized a lot this year that like I mask a lot. I am very concerned about being perceived, I guess, if that's like a sentence that makes sense. I think about the worst a lot, I guess, and I overthink a lot, and it's like bad. Like a lot of the anxiety I've had, like in terms of like just coming back to YouTube or like doing anything online or like even interacting with real people in real life. I tend to like think of the worst and overthink everything, and like I am very anxious. I see sometimes like recommended videos that like I never watch and never help, but it's like how to stop caring what other people think. And it's like on one hand, I probably should care less about what other people think because it's making me very unhappy for no reason because I'm just thinking about things that haven't happened but could. But also at the same time, I feel like I also should care about what other people think, and it's like this really difficult balancing act of like, okay, so I need to feel confident in myself and confident that like, oh, this isn't a bad video or bad whatever, but also at the same time I do want to make sure I'm not just like disregarding outside opinions, but I can't obsess myself over the worst ones, especially when they don't even exist, and I'm just like worried about when they show up. There's so many things like that. Like for a very long time I was just like worried about being too much of myself around my friends or whatever, and like I've been like the most open with them this year than I ever have, and is fine. I feel so much more comfortable with them, and they're still my friends and they still treat me the same, so it's not necessarily as though keeping up those walls for them is something I should keep doing. I was diagnosed with like ADHD this year. I haven't been diagnosed with like autism, like spectrum, anything, mainly because I'm an adult now and I'm pretty sure it costs a lot of money to be diagnosed autistic as an adult. I already have ADHD. If I have autism, it's like, all right, what is that really going to change? Like, there's already so many similarities between ADHD and autism anyway, and the way I act, it's like, if I find out it's very cheap or whatever to see if I have it, I'll give it a try, but like, I am already like neurodivergent anyway, so it's just like a thing that doesn't matter as much to me. But I also can't deny that like, that is definitely like a thing that's like a high possibility. But to hopefully go back to what I was discussing earlier, I feel as though like I am opening up more and I am trying to be more sincerely me. I play a character, I feel like, even though it's me, it is like a not real version of me. It is a performance version of me. And I think that's most YouTubers, you know? Everyone understands that when you are watching a YouTuber, that isn't how they usually act, even if it's like close. it's the best version because it's edited. There's a level of performance, the way I talk is different, blah, blah, blah. The thing that I kind of realized though, and I'm not exactly sure if like this is actually true or if it's just like me catastrophizing, I didn't feel as though I could be like super sincere. To bring it back to the guy who I'm stealing from for this video, Nakey Jakey, whenever I think Nakey Jakey is very funny. He has a very goofy persona and a very goofy vibe. Whenever he gets serious, experimental, when he's doing his like cinematic look, I think it works. I think he's able to do that and it doesn't come off as like weird. It's something I kind of worry about is like, I feel like I am too insincere, I guess. Like I worry that like the version of myself that appears in videos is so hammed up, so focused on being funny, sarcastic. I worry I'm too abrasive. I worry that like if I'm like emotionally sincere, it would be cringe. The version of me on video is more close to the real me than what people see in real life, I guess. But yeah, like it is still highly masked. It's still been highly masked, and the reason why is because I've been slowly getting more and more afraid of who I am, I guess. I don't know. There's a lot of people I watch on the internet that are just like, you know, themselves in a way that I worry if I would be like off-putting to people, I guess. Like, I don't know how okay with, I don't know, like cum jokes or whatever, like my audience is, even though I fucking love cum jokes, you know? I don't know if my audience is people like me, some flavor of LGBTQ, neurodivergence, and maybe furries, I don't know. I'm really struggling to properly articulate what I'm saying here, so I'm gonna pause this for now. I have such a large amount of anxiety about like the kind of person I come off as, that my voice and my demeanor comes across so douchey, and I like being a little more irreverent, but also like there's just more things I want to talk about that I just feel like this insecurity about talking about, because I feel as though if I did, people would be like, why are you talking about this, you fucking weirdo? Stay in your lane. We didn't come for this. I don't feel as though like I can, if I do like sincerely want to discuss things, I come across as too much of a shithead to even be able to properly discuss things. A lot of my old long form review videos, I focused so little on like my actual attachment to whatever I'm talking about, because I clearly have an attachment to Zootopia and Five Nights at Freddy's to want to make a giant ass video about them, but like I barely focused on that and just focused on so much criticism to the point where it comes across not as someone who loves Five Nights at Freddy's trying to review it, but more so like I fucking hate it. You know, I enjoy so many aspects of Five Nights at Freddy's, like the first game, the franchise, the fan works. I worry if a Five Nights at Freddy's fan saw me, they'd be like, keep him away. You know that phrase, don't kill the cringe inside of you, kill the part that cringes? I'm trying to do that, but like I'm very much struggling. It comes back to the whole thing of like, oh, I want to stop caring what other people think, because I know being so anxious about what people think can really take a toll on you mentally. And so like the reason why I've like spent so long trying to get the right words out, I feel like if I talk about this in a video, that is like a actual step in like me actually becoming more sincere, more myself. And I feel like I am slowly getting a bit more comfortable, because I'm like, I'm doing this at all. Everything here has been like very hard to describe, and I'm very sorry, and I'm hoping I was able to turn any of that into something coherent. Lots of brain goop. The past 2 hours have been very challenging for me to talk and very challenging for me to say. Anyway, I'm going to get away from this topic because I am just going to kind of keep going in circles if I don't stop. And I guess that kind of leads me into, I guess, New Year's resolutions I have. Because that's definitely one, you know, hoping to become even more comfortable being myself. That, I guess, is a New Year's resolution for next year. Another resolution I have is to use Spotify more. The real resolution is become more musically literate, because I'm not. I suck. But like, just all my friends use Spotify, and I kind of want to like join it in like in that like community way. If I end up using like a completely different music service, but I still become more musically literate, that's what I really care about. What else is on my New Year's resolutions? I want to move. I want to play more games instead of thinking about playing more games. Oh yeah, isn't that? I have a shitty personality quirk, I guess, where I waste time worrying about wasting time. Whenever I play a video game or I guess watch a show, I tend to like dedicating sessions to it, I guess. So whenever I have like a little bit of time I can like spend playing a video game or whatever, I tend to worry that it's not really enough time to really progress far in it, I guess. And I worry that spending that little amount of time on it is just like a waste. But then I do that so often that it ends up wasting more time than if I just, you know, didn't give a shit. So basically, I feel like I could play more video games that I want to try, or watch more shows I want to try watching, if I just, you know, did it in little bits instead of like doubting myself and worrying that like I'm wasting time doing it, or it's not enough time to devote to it to enjoy it, kind of thing. It's like I said, a stupid, shitty, dumb, awful mindset that I don't even know where it came from, but like I want to stop it. Another resolution I got is to learn to drive. Oh fuck. I filled up my storage. The recording just ended and it told me, "Oh, your storage is full." You know what? Fuck it. This last bit will be in 1080. Anyway, so yeah, another resolution I have is to learn to drive. I'm not as anxious about the idea of driving now that I've biked so much in the roads and felt very comfortable doing that. Now, as for actually having a car, I don't know. Cars are fucking expensive. I don't know if I'll actually own a car by the end of 2026, but I will know how to drive one. My fucking jaw and mouth and ears are getting sore. And it's also 11. Continuing on more, I want to make more videos. And by more videos, I mean just like any videos, really. I have so many ideas, and I think that is another reason as to why like it's been hard for me to return, because I kind of get like a paralysis that kicks in seeing all these like unfinished projects. Instead of like wanting to finish them, there's a part of me that just like desperately wants to move on and like just do new ones. The free movies on YouTube video, or like the Scott the Woz Mysterious Game of Crypticism video. Those I am like highly debating just like discarding, getting rid of, and like giving up on. Same with like many of like these scripts I've just had and tried starting over the years that I haven't finished. I have so many things that I'm just like, there's no way I can actually do all of them. And on top of that, I want to move on, because many of these are fucking so old. And they're not like old, but even like in 2025, I feel like I've changed a lot of like how I want to approach my videos. And I just feel as though like if I went back to these videos that like I've started a really long time ago and didn't finish because, I don't know, the hyperfixation ran out, or I just like didn't get to it, or I started self-doubting. Is it worth it? You know, is it worth it to just finish all these projects, or should I just stop? But also there's like a sunk cost thing, or maybe not even a sunk cost thing, but just like a part of me that's like actually believes in myself, where it's like, oh no, like these are probably good videos and you should make them. And also I have spent all this time working on them to begin with, but also I've already wasted that time. I'm not getting it back if I finish the fucking videos. The Zootopia 2 video, that is the most like passionately I've wanted to work on a video in a very long time, which surprised me. I didn't think I would want to like do a giant 2-hour video on Zootopia 2. I knew I was gonna watch it because I did a giant 2-hour video on the first Zootopia, but I just thought like, oh, all right, now I'll watch the second one, and I'll make a video about it, but I don't think it'll be 2 hours. But then I was blown away by it more than I ever thought I would be. And I have written 40 minutes worth of script. But yeah, that is a video I hope to release this year. Another video I hope to release is the Suicide Mouse 2 video. That's a video of like, I did started running it like multiple times, and there was a point in summer this year where I started a script and genuinely found a direction for it, and I took a break from it and I haven't come back to it yet. But that is another video I want to do, not just because people really want it, but also because like I genuinely do want to do it. There is a lot of things I want to talk about. So yeah, 2 long videos I want to do next year. I'm holding up 2 fingers. I just accidentally did that. And I do want to make at least 1 small video as well. One that isn't a gigantic project that spiraled into a giant thing. Because I do want to also feel comfortable again making shorter videos. Whenever I have like a video idea that would work as a short video, I just don't have confidence in it. I worry it's not substanceful enough, I guess. And I just want to be comfortable again, like making small videos as well, because there's nothing wrong with them, and they would also come out more frequently. My intention with both these longer videos, the Suicide Mouse 2 video and the Zootopia 2 video, as well as making at least like 1 or 2 short videos, is like I want to just get momentum back, you know? Last year I had like a hope of like making a video a month. I just want to make 3 videos. If I make more, that's great, but like I just want 3 particular videos done and I would be satisfied. I want Suicide Mouse 2, I want Zootopia 2, and I want a short video. And I have 2 ideas for like a short video currently that like I'm interested in. Which is watching YouTube videos on your 3DS or whatever it's gonna be about or called, and dumb ESRB ratings. And I'm not including the other videos I started in 2025 in that like shorter videos list, like the Q&A, the 3rd Q&A, the Minecraft box art video, the free YouTube movies video, mainly because like, you know, I'm still at a state of like just kind of trying to look forward, I suppose. The Q&A video, that's the most likely that's going to be finished, followed by the Minecraft box art video. The YouTube movies video, I haven't looked at in a while, and I'm just trying to think like, oh, is that like worth making, I guess? Because what that video is basically like, I was reminded that YouTube offers movies for free, like actual movies in the YouTube movies section, and a lot of them are easy to make fun of. And it's not a very substanceful video, but as I was writing it, I was trying to make it substanceful, but then I worried that just kind of made it a disjointed video. But I don't know how it's going to come out because it's not finished yet. But also I haven't had a chance to work on it because I've been burned out and busy, and I'm only now like feeling regenerated, and I want the first thing I do during that regenerated time to make this video, probably make the Q&A, and then figure it out from there. I want to draw better and draw more. I want to get better at drawing, and I also want to finish more drawings. I want to study anatomy better, so I can take the brain pictures I have inside here and turn them into actual pictures, rather than drawing to the best of my ability and still feeling as though I'm restricted in what I'm capable of. I want to like engage in my interests more. I want to like partaking in my interests, and I want to be more involved in like communities of like movies or games or shows that I enjoy. I want to enjoy more fan art and get to the point where I want to read fan fiction, I guess. And I think that's about everything. So yeah, this was my gigantic ramble of just stuff. There are a few things I missed. At a certain point in April, when like the Switch 2 was announced, I like improvised a whole video about how like pissed off I was about the shitty price, and then I just didn't release it. It's not necessarily as though I'm not working on anything. I am working on things, and I don't release them because they're not good enough. I don't know if that means my standards are too high, or if my standards are actually right where they should be, and I shouldn't dumb myself down for the sake of shitting out content. I don't know. One of those two. It was a productive year and a packed year, really, for me, just in general. For progress in terms of my mental health, there's still a lot I want to do and that needs to be done. I have a lot of anxiety that I really want to work on, but I'm also thankfully more at a point where I am improving and I can see improvement. I hope you enjoyed listening to me talk about this year. I'm hoping that maybe me talking about this year this way and maybe inspire you to like take stock of your year in a different way and find some positives about it, to focus on more going into 2026. Did that make any sense? I don't know. Basically, I hope that this video was entertaining and like a good thing to listen to while doing something, but also hopefully it inspires you to think about yourself more positively. Hopefully those words came out correctly and made sense. Happy New Year. I can only hope that, you know, the next year isn't far worse than this one. It probably will be worse, but you know, if next year is bad, which it most likely will be, I hope that like your own personal year and the things that happen to you and your own life are better than 2025. Even if your personal 2025 was good, I hope next year's is better. Happy New Year. I hope to make more things. I hope to be more of myself, and I hope to... Oh, my camera ran out of recording. Yeah. See you later. Bye forever. I hope I edited this video into something coherent. Oh my god, I've been recording for 6 hours, which is like 4 longer than I intended to.